channel, you guys. This is, I think it's part 5 of my home brewing series. If you haven't caught all of the other parts, the other videos, please think about going back. I'm trying to label them so that if you do want to try home brewing, I'm trying to segment these videos so that I can break it apart into all the kind of big overall steps. You don't have to watch a huge long video to get to the part that you need. So right now we are actually, we've got our brew done, so our wort off the stove. And it's really important, like I was saying in the last video, we've got a cold crash. So basically right now our wort that we have is unfermented beer. We've got to crash that down to below 75 degrees. Remember, it was boiling. 75 degrees Fahrenheit as quick as possible. So we, 20 to 40 minutes maximum to avoid some off flavors. And those two culprits are dimethyl sulfide, or DMS, and diacetyl. So either one of those, if you don't cool it quick enough, they're a chemical compound that forms in that malt and it gives it off flavor. So the DMS is like a vegetable flavor and the diacetyl is like a buttered popcorn. So we want to try to avoid that. So I've just got this ice bath going that I'm going to show you here in a second. Time to crash this wort. This is where you don't want to lollygag. You're fine, just relax, but you do want to, within 20 to 40 minutes, you want to get this down below 75 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's get this ice in here. You can never have too much unless I plug the sink in the back. And I'm going to try to get this to be something that I can get that pot down in there. Alright, so I added water to this. And we're going to get that all down in there. But I want to get this covered, you guys, because there are particles in the air that can definitely contaminate your beer, okay? And this I had re-sterilized. I'm actually going to rinse it, stick it back in my sterilizer. But here's something that I did while I was gone before. So this has been in the sterilizer solution, that lid. We want to cover that up. See if I can't sink that in there. Because we don't want anything from the air to get in there and contaminate that. Now, I also have sterilized, sorry, I know I'm right in front of the camera. I've also sterilized my hands in that, I shouldn't say sterilize. Sterilizing is an absolute killing of all contaminants, right? But sanitation. I've sanitized my hands, and then also this thermometer, okay? So our goal is within 20-25 minutes, we want to get this cold, this crashed. Okay, so let's take a look. And this is where that copper coil would be nice, although you do have to have the lid off for that, so there's some debate. But let's take a baseline temperature. Let's see where we're at here. Right now we are at 155, I'm sorry, not 100, 38 is where we're at, okay? So I'm just going to stick this kind of down in the water, back in the sanitizer, because at this point is where you really want to keep everything super, super clean, okay? And again, don't worry about the sanitizer, the foam. You don't have to have it dry. It doesn't hurt anything. I am going to come in here and stir, because stirring really helps to cool it down. Cover it up. And then I'm just going to kind of keep moving it around like this, and if I need to add more ice, I will. Laughing because it was less than 5 minutes probably, and I've already got this wort down to about 65 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's perfect. I'm actually just going to take it out so it doesn't get any colder. In fact, I should do that right now while I'm talking. I'm just going to put it on the other side of the sink. And so you saw me, like, as I was on that time lapse, every time I used a thermometer or that that spatula, you'd see me dip it in the ice water. But what I was doing then was always putting it back into my sanitation bucket so that every time it was nice and sanitized as I was stirring it. You also notice I kept the lid on as much as I could too, because again, you don't want those contaminants from the air giving your beer some off flavors. Alright, so I've never done a gallon batch like this. I've always done 5-gallon batches where it can take a while to cool it down below 75 degrees. And you can look back on my other videos. There's a reason you want it down. You cold crash it as quick as you can, so again, so that you don't get those off flavors. But the yeast, we haven't pitched the yeast yet. But the yeast needs to, it can't ferment properly, do its job properly until you get below 75 degrees. So we want to do it as quick as we can so we don't get the off flavors, and we also have to have it below that threshold so that the yeast can do their job. So actually, I think that's going to be it for this video. Join me on the next video when we pitch the yeast. Thanks for watching. See you soon.